Hey everyone, it's Jones from Seminole County Council PTA, and today I'm going to walk you through how to create a student portal to accept reflections entries using Google. You're going to begin with the link that I will provide, and I will put it right down here in the comments as well to access the templates. So go ahead and copy that. Now be sure that you're logged into the Google account that you'll be accepting the entries under. Just be sure it's not a shared drive. It must be a individual user drive. So I'm using the Reflections drive for Seminole County. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to select the Revolutionize Reflections materials. And then we're going to go to templates. And then what we want to select is the one that says Master 2B. Where is that? Master 2B. There it is. Master 2B Digital Local Unit SCC PTA version. To confirm it's the right version, I'm just going to double click on it to make sure that I see the logo for this year's theme, okay, which I do. All right, so now what I want to do is we are going to select the three dots in the upper right corner and say make a copy. So I'm going to select the make a copy. All right, and when I select the three dots and the make a copy, it's going to, so see how it wants to put it into the templates folder, which is where it's at right now. That won't be very useful to us. We want it to be in the folder for this specific user, the reflections, in my case, the SCCPTA reflections user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of the templates and out of the Revolutionize reflections, and I'm going to select my drive. When you select my drive, it's going to move the copy that you're creating and put it on the drive for your account and out of the template location, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and select my drive. Righty. And then because I am with county, I already had pre-designated the dates of the different folders for the different reflections entry periods or years, if you will. So I'm going to actually put mine in the 2023-2024 folder, but yours you can just leave in the My Drive space, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put it there. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and select. So that way it just goes into that folder. So now it's going into the My Drive 2023-2024 folder, but for you all, it would probably be just My Drive. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and also you can change the name of the file now that you're going to be making a copy of it. So instead of saying copy of master of this, I'm just going to say Seminole County Reflections. And I'm going to put the year. All right. So I'm going to hit make a copy. Now what's happening is it's actually making that copy. So as you can see, the way I know that this is the copy that I'm on, please ignore these errors where it says missing file upload folders. You are going to get it over and over and over again until we change the upload file questions to point the folder to our site so that it's no longer pointed to the site where the template originally came from. This form, this is a Google form, has questions where it asks the student artist to upload their artwork or upload the entry form. Those original document upload spaces were linked to the account that had the original file, the original template file on it. So this error is just saying, hey, wait a minute, you had these files stored under the admin account for Seminole County, and now you're moving it to the reflections account, but I don't know where you want me to put these documents. So it's going to give us this error until we replace all of those. And we're going to do that in just a minute. So for now, anytime you see this error, you want to select cancel. So I'm going to go ahead and select cancel. All right, so back to what I was telling you, which is how you know that this document, this is the copy that we made. Well, one, we renamed it. So see how it says 2023-2024 Seminole County Reflections Portal. Remember the old version, or the one we copied from, said Master to be Digital Local Unit. So see, that's one way in which I know that this is the original that I no longer want to be using. We don't need it anymore. So I'm actually going to close out of it so I don't get confused. All right, so that all I have is my copy that I want to be working with and customizing for my site, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get rid of all of those errors. So in order to get rid of the errors, what we have to do is we have to go down and scroll to the first question in this Google form that says upload. So see how this says upload student entry forms only. So this is the spot where we want only the student entry forms that look like this. So see, I even put a preview of what the form should look like that we should be attaching here. All right. So what we want to do is we want to actually copy this question so that it links to our folders and disconnects from the folders where the template document came from. So to do that, what we have to do is you have to somewhere click or select into this question. So see how it turned blue because I left mouse clicked into that section? And then I'm going to just scroll down just a little bit to get to the bottom of it. And you see where you have this option right here that says duplicate. That's what we want to do, is we want to make a duplicate of this question. So we're going to go ahead and select the duplicate. Just give it a moment, all right? And then you're going to get this error. We're going to get this error every time we make a change to this document until we get rid of all of those upload entry questions from the previous template, okay? So I'm going to hit cancel. Like I told you, we're going to hit cancel every time we see this. And now I'm going to scroll down and you'll see now we made a copy and you're going to see that now it shows view folder. Do you see that? This is the new question, the one that we made a duplicate. This is the new one. So I'm going to scroll back up to the old one. So see, we have two of them now because we made a duplicate. But you'll notice this one does not have view folder because this one is linked to the old templates account, the account that the template came from. But we don't want that because we don't want our documents going there. So we have to copy or duplicate and delete the old one. So see, remember, you know it's the old one because that blue view folder link is missing. So I'm going to go ahead and select delete. All right. And again, you're going to get this every time we make a change. So we're just going to hit cancel and ignore it. And you can see now that question that was an upload question has that view folder and has been replaced. And now this folder is linked to our account, the Google account that we are creating this portal under. Now we're going to scroll down and do the same thing again for every question that has the word upload. So I'm going to scroll down. The next question that has upload is for the dance entry. So I'm going to scroll down to the dance entry. There it is right there, upload dance choreography artwork file here. So again, we know this is not linked to our account because there is no view folder blue icon in the bottom right corner. So we know this is the one where we need to make a duplicate. And the reason why we're doing this is because I've already preset the settings you need for each one of these file upload questions so that it helps the users to know what kind of document needs to be loaded, that type of thing. So what I'm going to do here is where it says upload dance choreography, we're going to now delete this one. So remember, we want to keep the one that says view folder. So it says upload dance choreography artwork, view folder. This is the one we want to keep. This is the one we want to get rid of. So you see there's no view folder right here. So we're going to press delete. There we go. And remember, we're going to get this error every single time. So we're going to select cancel. All right. There we go. So now we've replaced the upload artwork category, the upload dance choreography artwork category. All right. Now we're going to scroll down and now we've got film. So again, we're going to scroll and look for the word upload, select that question, and we're going to make a duplicate. All right. Hit cancel every time we see that. and then we're going to delete where we had the original. So we're going to delete that original, hit cancel, and there you go. Your view folder is right there. So that was artwork. We're going to scroll down now for literature and do the same exact thing. So here's our upload literature. Again, the blue folder's missing, view folder's missing. So we're going to make a duplicate so that it attaches, hit cancel on that error, come back up here and delete. All right, cancel again. There we go. All right, we're going to keep doing that for every word where we see the word upload, every question where we see the word upload. All right, so here we go. Upload music composition. Again, we're going to scroll down, select duplicate, cancel on the error. We see our view folder. That's the one we want to keep. Scroll up. This is the one we don't need anymore. So I'm going to, I do highly recommend that when you are doing this process, you have a mouse. If you're using a laptop, then you definitely want to have a mouse to do the scrolling. Now, this is where it gets a tad bit tricky because you see we did the upload music composition. If you are a high school or middle school, then you are also going to need to do the upload notation. So remember, that's middle and high school. They have to include the notation files, which is the music notations for the composition. So you're going to do it twice in this section because you have to upload the notation. So I'm going to hit cancel. If you are in elementary school, what you could actually do right here is you can actually just delete this section without making a duplicate, because in elementary they do not have to have a notation. So you could delete that one, and if you do not need to have a notation, then you can also delete this question where it says additional music notation rules, middle and high school only. If you're in elementary, then again, you can delete this section, okay? All right, so we're going to scroll down here. All right, that was music composition, so this should be photography. And again, we're going to do the same exact thing where it says upload photography artwork. And again, really, you just want to take your time, make that duplicate. There we go. Remember to hit cancel every time we see that. There's your view folder. I promise you won't see that all the way through for this whole entire process. It's just until we get done copying all of the upload questions. And then these errors will go away once we get rid of all of the upload questions from the previous template. And here we are in the last section, which is visual arts. We're going to scroll down. So remember, we're going to have 2 in this section for 2D and 3D. And the reason we have 2 separate is that the 2D is only going to allow 1 file. You see that? Whereas 3D, we need up to 3 files. Unfortunately, Google only gives us the option for 5, so I have to put 5 here. But remember, you need to have at least 3, or only 3 actually, pictures of the 3D visual artwork. All right, so that's the reason why you have 2 different upload sections here. So let's go ahead and make this copy so we can stop getting that error message, right? So here we go. So we're going to duplicate this one. There we go. Again, we're going to hit cancel. We see the view folder right there. Just be very careful to look at which one you just made a copy of so you don't accidentally delete the other one. So we're going to delete the 2D now. All right. There we go. Again, hit cancel. And now here's the 3D. All right, so we're going to make the duplicate of that one. Remember to hit cancel. This is the last one. That should be the last one we see. All right, so remember, this is the one we want to keep that says view folder. We just did the 3D artwork. So see, upload 3D. All right, this one does not have view folder. So we're going to go ahead and delete that. And once we do this, we will no longer get that error. Yay! All right. That really is sort of the most, I feel like most difficult part about this whole thing is just keeping yourself from hitting that restore button. You do not want to hit restore. You want to hit cancel. And it's just hard because you just want to get rid of that error every time it comes up. So I feel like that's sort of the hardest part about this whole thing is doing that. All right. So now that we have completed the copying of all of those. Sorry if I'm making you a little dizzy. I don't mean to. I just want to bring it back to the top of the document. So we're going to scroll back to the top, and this is where we're going to start to customize this particular entry portal for you for your unit. So you should put your unit's name right here where it says local unit PTA or PTSA. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this to say, because this isn't, I'm doing this as if I'm preparing the county portal, so it's going to be a little different. But you would put your local unit here, but I'm going to put Seminole County Reflections Entry Portal. All right. All right. So then we're going to scroll down. So here you go. You've got your student artist name, your student email. Again, these things can be customized. If you're at an elementary school, you may not need student email and student phone. But at middle and high school, sometimes the student is the one who's putting the entry in, and you want to gather their information, but you also want to gather the parent information as well. So student artist age, you may want to put parent or guardian mailing address here. Just to be specific so they know. And then you're going to scroll down, parent, guardian name, email, contact phone number, and you may even want to, here's what I might put for this one right here, just so that they know we want first and last name. You know, you have to be specific sometimes. And you know what, I'm actually going to put that up here where student name is too. Oh, actually we do. We tell them name as will appear exactly as typed in public announcements. So we're telling them, please put the full name. So we'll put actually student artist full name. There we go. Anyway, the whole point of me doing this is just to show you that you can customize this for your specific local unit or school. All right, now this is where you have to make your first decision. This section right here is where we want to upload the student entry forms, the reflections entry forms like this. This is an example of the entry form. This is not where we want to put artwork. So it says do not attach artwork here. We're going to upload it later in the submission process. This is for student, this upload is for student entry forms only. For county, we really need to use a naming convention because obviously we get hundreds of entries. At your local unit, you may not. So you may not need your file name to be so complex as we do at county. So you can edit this where you're requesting for the file name to be in a specific format. Maybe you don't put category and division in there. And instead, maybe for yours, you just want the student's first name, student's last name, their entry title, and maybe you don't want school name because it's all coming from the same school, so you don't need that. So you can take these parts out of your naming convention for the files, for the uploads. What I would recommend, though, is that if a student has multiple art entries, you do want to have something that makes it a unique name so that the if they have multiple files, like a dance file and a I don't know, and a music composition file, they're both going to be formatted like an MP4 or something similar. So you want to make sure that the names are not exactly the same. So by including the title, so see how you have the title, this is the title of the work, it will make it a unique file name. Okay. So I'm actually going to put this back because I'm doing this for county. I do want the category and division, the student's first name, last name, the title, and then the word form so that I know when I am going through my folders for the drive, which files are forms, which files are artwork, that kind of thing. So basically you're telling the parent or student how you want the file name to be for your upload, okay? Whatever you do in this section, I would recommend you copy the text and put it on like a little notepad, electronic notepad, or a Google Docs document on the side. So I have a side window over here where I'm keeping that, because you're going to need to use that text a little bit further down the file. So you can see over here, I'm using Notepad. Here, I'll bring it over here so you can see. And so see how I just copied the text and I have it over here so I can copy and use it a little bit later. I did look at this actually last night when I was with some of our local unit reflections chairs and doing this in person. And I felt like this wording right here was a little bit misleading, because you're not going to attach the artwork right here below, but in a section further later down in the process. So I do think that maybe this wording could be a little bit better, because you aren't really going to attach the artwork here. You're only going to upload the student form. So you may want to just either take that out. It looks clean without it. I think it was just kind of over explaining, which I tend to do a lot. And this is probably clean enough. We're just telling them upload the student entry forms here, don't add the artwork here, and then you're giving the file name and an example of how you want the file name. If you would prefer no spaces in the file name, that's fine too. So see, you can just take the spaces out. I just put the spaces in so that people can just see how clear it is. The spaces are fine. It's not going to hurt the file name to have them or not to have them. It'll just make it cleaner on your end if they are not there, but it's your choice how you choose to do it. All right, so that's cleaning up the file upload question for the entry forms. So remember, we're giving an example of what the entry form looks like. You do not need to change any of the settings here. That was the whole reason why we copied it. You are good to go. All right, so now we're going to scroll down to the entry details. So if you are in elementary school, you will likely need division A and B, but you do not need C, D. But you probably need E because it's the special artist. Please do not change the lettering, okay? When you remove these, you would just have A, B, and E. Do not change the lettering because I need it to be the same across the county so that when I receive the entries, these codes are used in my naming conventions. So please don't change the lettering. But what you can do is, if you are in elementary school and you don't need primary, you're in elementary school and you don't need middle school or high school, and I'm going to copy because I do need them. But if you don't need this, you can simply just click the X to remove it. So see how easy it is to customize the document for your local unit. So if you're in elementary school and all you need is the primary and intermediate as well as special artist, you would just simply select the X to get rid of the ones that you do not need for your purposes, okay, for your unit. So if you're a high school, you wouldn't need A and B. But again, please leave the lettering exactly as it is because it's used for other processes. So you would just have A, B, and E. And if someone asks questions, you can let them know. Or if you want to put it in the description up here, you could actually add it up here somewhere and just say, lettering is intentional. We know that it's skipping, because you're going to have that one person who's like, did you know that it's not there? And you're going to be like, yes, I know it's not there. All right, I am going to put middle school and high school back for my purposes because obviously for county, we need all of those. So I'm going to put that back. And I do want to show you, if you've never used Google Forms before, it's so user-friendly. You can see how I just put that C and now I just put that back in the right spot. And then I'm going to put the high school back for my purposes, but just wanted to show you how very customizable your student portal can be for your specific needs, okay? All right, so again, we're going to scroll down, and again, you're just going to customize these sections. So again, for student grade, I need all grades, but remember, any grade you don't need, you just click into that section and take the X off to remove it. So if you're a high school, you would only need 9, 10, 11, 12. If you're a middle school, 6, 7, 8 only, you would just delete the ones you don't need so that your students and parents that are uploading don't have to scroll through all of that to get there. Where it says student classroom or homeroom teacher, you may have different names for what people call homeroom or the consistent class they go to. I was again with a local unit last night, and their homeroom, if you will, isn't called homeroom, it's called 7th block or something like that. And so whatever it's called at your school, you can put there. You could say primary teacher, or maybe you're going to be running reflections through their specials teachers, like, or their arts teachers. You may want to put their arts teachers' names there, or whatever is unique or you need for your school. You can just edit the wording so that it makes sense for your purposes. Okay, so remember up at the top where we copied that file name code change? If you change the file name code, you'll want to copy that change right here, because this is where we're telling the parents who or students who may have multiple entries. For example, if your artwork is a 3D and you're going to have 3 files, you're going to want to put like a little number 1, a little number 2, a little number 3 after the title of the work to make each image file unique when you're doing the upload. So you see how I bolded, add numbers at the end of the title for each entry to distinguish it, okay? If you're in elementary school, you don't need music notations, so you can just delete the music notation, all right? So that is definitely an option, okay? Customize this to specifically what you need for your file upload process, okay? All right, scrolling on down. All right, do not change anything else within the drop downs of these areas unless you just are not accepting that type of artwork. So if you're not accepting that type of artwork, then you will need to do some changes right here. And I recommend you reach out to me, because this areas where we have the different categories, it drives the functionality of the form. So see how if you don't have all of these, we'll need to change how the form jumps from spot to spot. So you'll just need to reach out to me, and I'd be happy to help you just to confirm that you've cleaned this up properly if you're not accepting all types of entries, okay? And again, if you need to reach me, reflections@sccpta.com. And I will also put that in the comments section or the notes section below the video, okay? So we're going to scroll on down. And again, we're just validating, although we see all of these sections, remember the people who are going to be entering this, the students and the parents, they're going to be entering the files, will only see the demographic information at the top, the entry information, and then the one section of art that they're going to be submitting. If you have people who are going to submit multiple, then they would see multiple sections based off of what they choose. And I'm going to give you guys that demo of an experience in just a moment. Okay, now what we're going to show you is, where's all this stuff going? Why did we do this, right? Okay, so remember how when we made the copies of these sections where it was upload, where we had to upload a document, and I was saying, hey, make sure you have this blue view folder. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to check out the blue view folder, because I want to show you the magic of this whole portal idea. So we'll select the view folder from any one of the questions. And when you do that, it's going to look blank like this. But what I really want you to do is up here, this is the navigation of where that folder is. I want you to just take one level backwards on the navigation up here, and I want you to select whatever this spot is on your view. It won't say 2023-24 Seminole County. It'll be whatever title you titled your document. Select that. And when you do, what I want to show you is, this is really where all the cool magic is going to happen. When your students upload their artwork, it's going to automatically sort everything into these folders. So these are the folders where those documents are going to go. So obviously, don't delete these folders. You can rename them, but please don't delete them because it will disconnect from your form and cause you all kinds of havoc, okay? So please don't, but you can make them easier. So these folders are, look, the student entry form, the photography, the music notation for middle and high school, music composition. This is your literature, your film, that sort of thing. So are you starting to get the idea of how you're going to do your virtual judging? it's going to be so much easier because all of the artwork will already be pre-organized. So I'm sure you're thinking, what happens if somebody wants to give me a paper form? No problem. Accept the paper entry form along with the physical artwork. Take the pictures, or ask them to send you the file. And then you just enter it into the portal form that we just created so that it then gets processed along with all of the other entries. It's the same thing we'll be doing at county. If you have some physical entries at the local units, no problem. You can use our portal to upload your winners, the winning entries. Okay, so this is really, like I said, the really cool, magical part of all this is just the organization and the fact that everything is driven from your portal form or the Google form, all right? So not only will the artwork files be pre-sorted, you will also have a inventory sheet. So this document is going to create your master inventory sheet. We will have a 3.0, if you will, session a little bit later on in the process where I'll explain to you how to use the inventory sheet. But for now, I want to show you what it's going to look like. So if you see this icon, so what I did was we were on the questions. So see, we were on the questions. Now we're going to go over to responses, all right? Under responses, you'll see an option that says link to sheets. So we're going to select that link. When you do, it's going to be making a spreadsheet that is going to be your master inventory document for all of your electronic artwork, okay? So I don't typically change the wording. I mean, you could call it master file or master inventory or, reflections, art inventory, whatever. I'm going to leave the name the way it is, but you can change this by simply clicking in here and then typing whatever you want to change it to. I'm going to just simply select the create. When you select create, just give it a minute and it's going to populate a spreadsheet, okay, in Google Sheets. What I always do for every spreadsheet, no matter what it is I immediately go up to my data and select create filters. What filters do is that as your entries are coming in, your sheet is going to get populated with all this information that you have requested. This will allow you to be able to sort the list. If you want to sort the list by or filter for only a specific teacher's classes or only all artwork or all students who are the age of 10, you can use these filters. So see, if we wanted the age of 10, you would just select the filter, type 10 right here, and then it will automatically filter that list for all the entries that have the number 10. The other great thing about this and having this running inventory is you can actually let students know when you receive their entry because you'll have a time date stamp letting you know. Also, as entries come in, you'll see this document is very wide. It's got lots of columns. So you see, if I go over here to the right, we have every single question that we asked, okay? You will actually have links to those artwork folders in here, and this is what you're going to eventually use for the judging, okay? But again, that's going to be in another session. For now, this is exactly the point we need to be at to be able to accept portal entries. We don't need to do any more today at all on this. You will simply send out that URL link that we created in the previous step when we were here on the send. You'll send that out by email or you can upload it to a website. I'm going to give an example of one way that you can do it. So I actually just finished building Croom's portal for Croom's. And so this is what theirs looks like. Okay. All right, so this is an example of what you can do with it. So I'm going to scroll down and you can see right here, I've given some step-by-step instructions. Shout out to Midway because they had a great idea for trying to make it very simplistic by giving step-by-step instructions. So I have shamelessly and proudly stolen that amazing, great idea and put step 1, complete the artist entry form. So this is a link to the artist entry form. Step 2, upload here. So this upload here link will take them directly to that portal form that we have created. I also put a little what is reflections, and then this video comes from National PTA on their YouTube, you can literally just copy the embedded code and put it right on your site, or in your email or your Facebook post. All right. So I hope that this was helpful to you on how you can create a portal, what you do with the link, that type of thing. We will be back with our third installment, if you will, of these training sessions regarding automating or revolutionizing your reflections. And in our third edition of this, we'll actually be starting to talk about how you organize your artist inventory sheet to prepare for judging. So that is the next step in this process. Step one was, how do you create and download the artist entry form and prepare the artist entry form. So as you can see, when I say prepare, that means entering the information on the artist entry form. So that was step one, was just getting ready to accept entries and preparing the form. So as you can see, there we go, right there. Then step two will be obviously what we just did today, which is preparing the student entry portal. Step three, preparing the artist inventory for judging and doing the judging. And those will be the three main steps in the Revolutionize Reflections process and doing the automation pieces. Of course, we have some other steps of the whole Reflections process. Of course, you want to celebrate your artist and that sort of thing. But when we're talking just the technical part, this is what we want to do. So again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, reflections@sccpta.com. And I hope that you have a great Reflections year in 2023, 2024. Take care. Bye-bye.